Hey, y'all. This is Florida Witch. Thank you so much for tuning in to Word to the Witch. I have my beloved cousin. She's a Gemini. She's here. You guys have probably seen her around. She's just a, I don't know.
Just a ray of sunshine.
I was going to say something to that effect, like
just
the
a
light of my
ball
life.
Of light. I get that one a lot. Word to the Witch. Hi, guys. I'm Sydney. I know that a lot of you have seen me at my craziest moments via Lindsay's Instagram stories. She loves to capture me in my goofy light, my silly little goofy moods.
They deserve it. They deserve it.
Oh, zoomies.
Yeah.
We have fresh coffee. We have old coffee. Her vape, my vape, water. The gang's all here. And I'm checking if I shave my armpits.
Who cares?
But
if you
it's a
stress
podcast.
sweat, they won't know. Only I will know.
Only you will know.
Only I will know. But I'll announce it because you know.
Can we talk about something real quick?
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You've ruined my life. Because let's get into it. So you ruined my life because we had a whole plane scenario in Boston. Remember that?
Oh my God.
The are we gonna get home thing?
Oh
because
my
the
God.
ghosts are trying
That's
to
a
keep us
great
here.
That's a great story. Quite embarrassing for me, but yeah.
Haunted mansion if it was in an airport.
Yeah.
You know. And you said something, you're like, gosh, I'm so nervous, I just can't stop peeing. Since that day, when I get nervous, I pee a lot.
It's not my fault.
And
it's the body's response. Anxiety makes people pee. Why do you think that the little like poodle dogs and chihuahuas, when they're so nervous, they just pee? They're like,
Piss
oh my God,
themselves.
don't act excited when you see the dog because they'll piss everywhere.
They'll
That's
release
literally
their
me on
bladder.
anxiety. And it's you. It's
and
not
it's
me.
always grandma's
Don't
dog.
blame me.
It's always grandma's dog.
Yeah.
Why do grandmas keep such disabled pets?
They don't give up on
They
people
don't-
because
they
they
don't give up.
don't want people to give up on them.
Because they themselves are getting older.
Yeah.
And they themselves can hardly hold their bladder.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, who's burped on here so far?
Nobody go. Solid.
I got more in the tank.
I give that like a 4.
You know what? I burp in front of people and they're like, ew. I'm like, would you rather me fart? Be honest. I'd rather be a burper than a farter. But hey, your body has
Your
sounds.
body, your choice.
Your body makes sounds. Don't hold it in.
My Lord and Savior Shrek said it perfectly. He said,
What did he say?
better out than in, I always. That's like one of the fucking 10 commandments to me.
You know what? He had this one move
Wait,
that
what was
he
his
did.
sign? Pause.
Let's talk about his characteristics. He did not need a lot to live.
Truly a minimalist.
The guy pulled out his earwax and made a candlestick. So he's
Yeah.
resourceful.
Feels like an Aries survivalist.
You know what? I'm going to sign off on your Aries. He could be an Aries sun. Very.
If I'm wrong,
I don't, I
call
don't
me out.
I don't
you know?
feel like you're wrong enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel far off enough.
A lot of people
So,
tell me that.
They're like, good enough.
Not
It'll-
wrong enough, we'll subscribe. We can't cancel her quite yet. She's like
we'll keep her.
lukewarm.
I love
Yeah.
being described as lukewarm. I've never been described as lukewarm, so maybe one day soon.
What are you? You're lukewarm. You're comforting.
Lukewarm is like, I wish it was warmer.
No.
Yeah, huh?
No way.
I'm always like, crank it up.
Yeah. I
Back
did
to
exactly what
Shrek.
I told us not to do. I'm cutting you off, so go.
I
Tell me
cut you
about
off
it.
every sentence you spoke. I cut you off.
But that's all our lives.
I'm doing the thing where
That's all our lives.
you know what? We're gonna scrap the video. God forbid it. Wait, we're gonna put a pin in Shrek.
No, Shrek's probably done and over with. We'll never get back to that.
He-
He's an Aries. Move on.
Aries,
Yeah, go.
fucking forget him. Okay,
Yeah.
Shrek 2, Shrek 3, Shrek Ever After. He's had his time. Let it go. Let it go, DreamWorks.
Honestly, I don't think they made enough sequels. It's like they do Fast 10,
They couldn't.
which is so terrible. They do Mission Impossible like 25 that we're on. I'm like, I would like a Shrek 10. I would like to get to there. That's the only one.
Shrek 38. Kids are all grown up. Shrek retirement. I don't think Shrek had a job.
He does not have a job. Where are we going with this? Let's go back. Okay, so this is a spiritual podcast.
That's fine.
We have to tie that in.
Of my attitude. It's fine. Spirituality is a very confusing thing for a lot of people, I think, because, I come from a really Christian background, you as well. Anything that was considered new age and anything outside of your God wants to hurt you is wrong. And then, we both kind of popped out of that space around 15 because our brains grew, because you start asking those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Why does God want to hurt me?
Yeah.
Does he?
No.
And who said God's a he?
No. God is definitely an it. I prefer to go with she, obviously.
She will?
She, kind of, yeah. Like, that's what she is like to me. or it is. It's like the I am.
I
you know?
will reference Sarah again. She referenced God as AI.
Ones and zeros.
It completely changed my mind and perception of God. She really brought God from a faraway place to very, very close, and how God never is far away from you and never wants to be far away from you.
Ever. Yeah.
Ever. And if God's not a he, and maybe God's not even a she, maybe God is an it, and maybe God's just a brain.
Totally. That's the biggest part that I got from that, was that God is constantly learning from us.
Yes.
And so that comes back to the concept of co-creation, especially when we're talking about manifest. I know your wheels
Yeah.
are turning up, but it's
I'm gonna
like,
start barking.
yeah.
Get me started.
But yeah, like when we talk about manifestation and stuff, this is something that requires, it's co-creation. So when people put all of that like weight and that burden on themselves to manifest their desires or their wants or their needs, it's like, no, you're co-creating for so many reasons. So when God is still taking in information about us, because that's when like that free will concept kind of comes in. You're gifted the grace by something greater than you to make your own choices and your own decisions and to live. And then God kind of just like comes in and says, okay, like I'm picking up what you guys are doing and I'm also restructuring how I feel. That's why Catholics don't follow the Old Testament anymore. God shaped himself with the times.
Back to the AI conversation about God, when she was giving her spiel, she was like, God made mistakes.
Yeah.
And God learned from his mistakes. And she also restructured the way that I even pray, because from Southern Baptism, you feel very, very afraid to ask God for like something serious. I was always taught to be extremely grateful for every single thing that I had and not want anything.
Yeah.
So even though I dropped a lot of those beliefs, that programming still lived within me. And how the fuck is he supposed to give you what you want if you don't ask? And you don't tell God, no, this isn't good enough for me.
Yep.
This doesn't make me feel comfortable. So please, let's change it.
Absolutely. So when even spiritualists are talking about, well, spirit just takes that away. Spirit's going to crash down on you. It's like this tower card or whatever. I'm like, not only are they reading the tower card wrong, they have that concept all fucked up. And it's from their prior religious trauma that they believe that God is like this punisher.
Punisher God.
If that's your God, that's crazy, because that's not my God.
Not my
like,
God.
My God
so
is like
forgiving.
It's so forgiving and so loving and also understanding and definitely almost like a parent, but it's like this punisher that they really put out for being anything is insane. Yeah.
Why is he stealing from me?
Literally.
If I step out of line, everything that I love is gone.
It's almost self-centered to think that Spirit just cares so much about these little fuck-ups that you make. I feel like Spirit is more worried about serious shit.
Spirit's like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
I don't care that you fucked your ex-man.
All right, so God AI, let's talk about it. We were just eating pho. We were getting fucked up. I just did a hard CK. I meant to say pho. So we were getting fucked up. I brought up the show The 100 and how basically it's like Earth set. It's centered around AI, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing,
She's
but
going to spoil the whole thing.
There's this chick that, invents AI. And basically, like, what it was is that her consciousness was downloaded to this chip, and then it was passed on through people of her bloodline and stuff. And it had like her kind of in it, as well as the new person. Very interesting, very strange, and we were just going over the concept that this is kind of
immortality. I'll be honest, it is becoming such a beast. And I feel like the cons really, I think, outweigh the benefits.
Yeah.
Like ending humanity.
Yeah. It was like, I have just soaked in all the information that I needed to. And I think the best thing for humans is to hit restart. Could AI learn empathy? Could AI be a product of its maker? It depends on, I feel like AI is truly a mirror of what we are. And so does that scare the shit out of me? Absolutely.
Immortality, as we know it, will probably be something to the effect of having consciousness downloaded and then...
I don't think it could be downloaded. I think it could only be duplicated. I think that the only thing that they could do is run tests on who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And then your essence lives on, but it can't be
essence. Yes, the essence is what I'm talking about. Where they could say, this is what this person would have done when they were alive, or the thoughts that they spoke about and their opinions and their morals and their causes that they fought for. We can assume that they would think this.
Anyways,
what are you reaching for?
My coffee.
Oh, you want to take a sip together?
Yeah. Let's ASMR gulp.
Okay. So good.
So good.
Y'all are
Yes,
crazy with the ASMR. You guys are crazy. Here's the thing, I get it. It's very tickling. Do you watch it?
No, I watch the satisfying videos of shit breaking.
Have you seen the guy that throws the wine bottles?
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
Oh my god,
That's
I
what.
love
That's
it.
my shit.
Oh my god.
Wait, what was I gonna bring up to you? Oh, true or false? You would have sex with one of the aliens.
What do you mean with one of the aliens?
You want to have sex with 3 of the
No.
aliens?
Don't twist my arm.
You want to Eiffel Tower the aliens? Oh my god, bro.
No, what I'm going to say is, you're saying, would you have sex with the aliens? Which one are we talking about?
Whatever ones are here. Would it be the Paul-like alien that's like short and gray?
Super small and
Lanky, tall,
do
blue
any of them
alien.
do any of them look like Avatar?
You ain't that lucky.
You
I
are
doubt
not-
it.
You're right.
I bet they're 3
You're
feet
so
tall.
right. I'm gonna get the guy that has like the 3 fingers.
What about the lizards?
Ew, I wouldn't do it with a lizard.
You know what's crazy?
I don't want to make lizard babies.
There's a kink for that, for real.
And those people need to go seek help. If you want to procreate with a real life lizard alien and you would choose that life over another type of alien that wasn't a lizard, I'm judging your choice.
Me, I'm her.
I am sickened by you. I did not expect this from you, Lindsay.
Over the gray one? Yeah,
I mean,
I'm her.
I'm a texture bitch, right? So, ew, scales.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they? You can't cuddle that. Ew.
Yeah.
I would take a little bit of slime over scales. Oh, they're a little bit wet though. Ew. Ugh. Okay, in theory, they would be a warm-bodied one. I don't want cold freak. And they'd have a little bit of hair somewhere. A little bit. So it would feel as close to home as possible.
Yeah.
I told
My
you I had
sentiments
one in the
exactly.
tank.
That one's more like a 6.
Back to the alien discussion. I've been seeing the attitude from people that they think aliens are going to be like hot, you know, when we meet them.
It's like when Moses came back from the burning bush and he was like, I just don't know what happened, kind of. I feel like that's the encounter with aliens. It's so unfathomable. I don't know if I can even conceptualize it.
You know the book I just read?
What?
The C.S. Lewis book, Till We Have Faces?
Yeah.
All right. He talks about that shit.
Aliens?
No, not aliens, but what it's like to encounter a god as a human.
Yeah.
And how it is almost painful, yet joyful. And how it's blinding and deafening, but completely silent.
Totally.
Like it is this experience that it's not meant for us. We're not them.
Yeah.
And so I feel like an alien, when
Similar.
If you're in the presence of that,
It's similar. I mean, who knows?
I
You
don't
know what I mean?
fucking know.
I don't fucking know. Oh, we were talking over pho earlier about how, like, what do you think happens when we die? Is it just like lights out, or do you just like wake up? And basically, we both came to the conclusion you just wake up somewhere
else.
to the next thing. And I'm like, I mean, what I can say is that I do think that it's better and way more advanced because I think that this is the most primitive place that you've ever encountered if you've had other like incarnations in different places and stuff like that.
Wise, Earth is rough. The human experience, even if you don't even do a whole lot of crazy shit in your life, the emotions you experience and are capable of experiencing are so hard to
It's a trip, man.
live in.
It's a trip.
And, you know, maybe it's easier to sit with those big emotions when you have done crazy shit, like been in war.
Yeah.
You know, maybe whenever you feel those feelings arise in your day-to-day life, they're not like all-encompassing, oh my God, I gotta pull over on the side of the road, why am I shaking? I think, you know, that's a good segue. I think that a lot of our anxiety and depression comes from us not, like, fighting. Our whole world history, as long as humans have been alive, we've been fucking fighting.
I feel like, bitch, I fight every day. That's where I'm going to fight you on that. Because, bitch, waking up every day kind of is a little bit of a fight. You know, depending, I feel like everybody has their own battles just in different forms. I feel like fighting is, like, inevitable. Okay. You're talking about that gory shit, though.
No, okay, we're getting closer to my original thought. This is even a better expression of it. So, because we, in this modern society we live in, we are so suppressed. We're sexually suppressed. We're verbally suppressed. We have to like wear these clothes and go to these jobs and buy these cars and keep up with these people that our raw nature rarely gets to come
I get
out.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about like your primitive,
Just
raw
expression.
nature
Yeah.
of just like
Existing.
being, because we live in like all of these boxes now.
Boxes
of
everywhere.
whether it's like what people think or your obligation or what's expected, and
The pressure to upkeep and keep in
Yeah.
balance all of these areas in life.
Yeah.
I have to keep friends. And
Yeah.
you have to hold your tongue to maintain those relationships. Maybe you bite your tongue around your parents. They're getting older and you don't feel like fighting with them.
Yeah.
And then, you wear these clothes because this is what's acceptable. And then you're around these environments because that's what's cool. And what if we just want to be?
It's because everybody cares too much about
So
how they're being perceived. And it's hard because it's like we have so much access to what everybody else is doing in our awareness.
Yes, with social media even.
That
We
we're
know.
very out of touch with what we actually feel like.
Yes.
So
Totally.
I think that that's like probably the moral of the story.
I like that we're getting to this point because social media, we've never before in history have known constantly, what other people are doing with their life.
They're going to talk about the data that they've collected from our generation of being born into this in comparison to that of, a kid in the 50s.
The birth of technology, really, as we know it, and social media, it's a beast. It's this monster that wants you so bad, and if you unplug, you get left behind.
Well, it's because they're
in the world that
your
we live in.
attention.
Not really, in reality, you don't get left behind, but
your attention is money, and it's always been that way in every point in history that your attention is money, and everything is a billboard. So it's just another thing that goes down to capitalism and being a consumer, because that's really what that's really what everything eventually turns into.
Money. Pay your taxes, and if you don't, you're going to fucking jail. Because you were born here.
So weird.
So
Nobody asked for it.
No wonder
not
we're
even
freaking
the people
out.
that made those rules. Not even they asked for it.
No. It didn't mean that to them.
God, this is so hook. This is so hook because it's like grown-ups just forget, and I think that kids really know the truth and they know what we need to know, and we should listen to kids more for advice because they're fresh from the ether,
that's
bitch.
what I'm saying. They're fresh from there. Fresh from source.
It's like
so close to God.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know, all of these people, it's like sad because I'm like, damn, if I could make a movie, it would be about like depicting all of these people in power who are super like money hungry and like craving. And I would just bring them back to like 6 years old, 7 years old. Cause it's like, really, they just forget. It's like, you forgot, Peter. Like you forgot where you came from. It's so sad. Growing up brings so much greed out of people.
I love how in Hook, you could never see the food. At the dinner table.
Oh my God, good point. I got chills.
He couldn't eat because he didn't believe.
Yeah.
And that's what you had to have. You had to have belief to engage in the magic.
That's so good and sad.
I know. And
that's so sad. I forgot that.
And then it finally happened. I forgot what was said, but he scooped up the red and blue cream and flicked it at somebody's face, at Rufio's face.
Yeah.
And it splattered, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because he started playing. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he started playing.
Talking shit.
One of the Lost Boys was like, Peter, like, don't you see it? And I think maybe
it was Marbles. Or the guy with the Toodles.
Toodles. And I think that like, it was Toodles saying that to him almost, if my memory serves me correctly. But I think it was almost like the belief. And that's another thing, is that belief is so strong and also contagious. So like, use that in your life too when it comes to like love and belief and manifestation, because it was really Toodles just looking at him like, you're like crazy for not seeing this like Superman ice cream in front of us. Like, you're so crazy for not seeing this feast.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, that was such a great part.
But he did remind him, he was like, Peter, you have to play.
Yeah.
You have to play. And it's only when you engage in the play that you get invited into the experience.
Totally.
And so even though we live in this restrictive world, we have to make it a point to find areas to play. Our relationship in specific is an outlet of play.
Totally.
And I think in our personal relationships, we end up with partners that are very playful with us because it's engaging in imagination, tapping back into like being baby cubs.
Yeah, literally. Baby wolf cubs.
Yeah. And that's why hobbies
Mm-hmm.
I like that we're getting to hobbies are so important around like mid to late 20s. You need to start getting a hobby because
Just like new things
New
to soak
things.
into that don't have a purpose too.
Yes.
And I think that that's really important. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people really want to tie in the purpose or
Mhm.
the why to a lot of stuff. You can't pull the why into fun. It's literally just like the I am.
Yeah.
It just is. Fun is
Mhm.
just fun. Love is just love. It's not like something that you need to label and put in a drawer and say,
Yeah.
this is why I do this. You don't have to have a reason to play. Like,
No.
you don't. And I really thank you for being just as playful as you are. I get caught up in the seriousness. I do have this like philosopher heart that like takes
Mhm.
everything super like deep and super serious.
Yeah.
Also, bitch, I got that crackhead in me, you know? She needs to come out
Got
for
like
real.
a little like Chihuahua goblin.
Yeah, like a chihuahua
Yeah.
goblin.
Wants to play.
Yeah. But it's only unlocked by those who are playful, and you really
Yeah.
are that Gemini, like playful energy.
If I can blame it on astrology, then I'm sure having my whole personal planet.
Yeah, let's talk about you for a second. So, Sid, all of her personal planets are in Gemini. Okay, so I didn't stutter. It's Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, Gemini Mercury, Gemini Mars, Gemini Venus. All 6 of her personal planets are
Yeah.
in Gemini.
People hear that and they're like, get away from me.
No.
When they are bitches and they don't know anything about astrology, but also they can't stay away from me because I'm so nice and so fun.
She's fun
Yeah.
for sure.
But I feel as if being so Gemini, I don't even feel like a Gemini, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It-
You really
it-
you
it
don't have anything
dominates-
polarizing in your chart
No.
to amplify the parts
The
that are
fact that
Gemini.
is Gemini.
Yeah.
It just, my whole existence is Gemini, and I have loved describing it or the sign in this way. When I heard it a couple weeks ago, that this woman said she always felt that Geminis had one hand on Earth and one hand in the
Mhm.
spirit world.
Totally.
And it makes so much sense. And having the twins be our symbol, I don't know where the narrative came from that we are two-faced.
I think Libra, and I'm a Libra moon, Libra
Yeah.
rising, okay?
Yeah.
And I love me my Libras, goddamn. And I
Mhm.
love that as a part of myself. And I wouldn't categorize myself as two-faced, but has more of the ability to be that. But I think that it's because Libra's more of a chameleon, whereas you are actually, you do work well and play well in any group that I've seen you in. However, I feel like you're more grounded in your personality, whereas I think that Libra is more of a sponge. So people
Yes.
judge Libra as
Mhm.
being like two-faced when really they're just like adapting to their
Yes,
environment to
totally
make
that.
other people
Totally.
comfortable.
Yes.
So it's not
absolutely.
it's not with the bad
It's
intention.
not a bad intention.
Yeah.
It's totally coming from a place of, yes, wanting to go with the flow.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
help enhance the vibe and
Yeah.
not shake the vibe, you know?
Bro, a Gemini will cut you off if they don't like you. I don't know where the two-faced stuff really comes from because it's like the Geminis that I know cannot fake when somebody makes them uncomfortable. Sid's this like big energy that really does, you know, it just like lights up the room, right? And so when there's something that
Shucks.
gets off or just turns her off or icks her out, she goes total quiet mode and it just sucks all of that light back and it's very obvious. You know, it's like her yanking her energy back immediately. And so I don't know. I can't relate to that Gemini being fake thing.
No, because
I don't get that.
I think most Geminis can agree with me that we really value our time and we value our alone time. And we really place importance on people who make us feel better and more intelligent and more stimulated. And how can that be wasted on somebody that disrespects us? Because how worthy is that relationship? They don't think that you're shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick your brain about your opinion on some signs. We don't judge astrological placements. Like, we don't hate any sign. But if you had to pick a least favorite, what would it be? Not hated, least favorite.
No, totally. Least favorite.
Blast them. Give me the tea.
Do you want it from my personal experiences with them, or do you want my like detached,
zoomed out?
First instinct is to say Aries.
I knew you were gonna say Aries,
but I love Aries.
I know you
and
do.
I know that they're so important.
Your Gemini ass plays with the Aries.
I just feel like like they are so unpredictable. I like to know what I'm getting into.
Got it.
I like to have a general idea of where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And when somebody is so here, there, everywhere, up, down, sideways, blah, 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 blah. I love this. I hate it. I'm all in. I'm all out. I feel like I can't work with you. Can't get anywhere. There's so much inconsistency going on. It's so chaotic. Although they are fantastic at starting projects, being incredible leaders, very courageous. Like, you want to talk about being a fucking warrior? They're from fucking Mars.
Yeah.
The planet of war.
Yeah.
They are soldiers. And I respect it. But I am such a logical person. Physical impulses would get in the way.
Okay, so other than your sign, what's your favorite?
I don't even think Gemini is my favorite sign, so get that out of here.
Yeah, my sign's not the favorite sign.
You know what? They don't get enough love. Virgos.
They don't. When I see people post about like how they're demons or something, that is crazy to me. Just because they told you that you could do better at something, or they don't subscribe to your bullshit.
Yeah.
You think that they're evil. That's crazy.
That's crazy. I've never been given criticism by a Virgo and it wasn't true.
They almost feel bad for shit that they shouldn't feel bad about.
All the time. I'd say most of the time they're absorbing so much self-hatred for shit that they didn't even do or haven't done yet.
Yeah.
They make the world go round. I love describing this to Virgos when I'm talking to them, that they have a beautiful knack for identifying problems. Yeah. Because if you don't have that, how will you have these firm, solidified structures? If you don't have someone that can say, wait, pause, this needs attention. They pull the weeds. If they didn't pull the weeds, they'd kill all the flowers.
It's a hard life that the Virgo lives too. It's so much responsibility. I am going to say my least favorite, and my favorite is again, I'm just going to step into the shit with you because I don't want you to be the only one that's like exposing, your least favorite. Yes. I would just like to say this first is that some of literally my closest people in my life are this sign, so it's hard. Yeah. I'm torn between two. Who do you think I'm about to say?
Leo.
That's not what I was going to say, but
lying to me right now.
No, but close. I was going to say Pisces because I have a lot of Pisces that are around me as well. And please don't cry. I know that you mean well and you're coming from a good place. Like, I know that. And so I know you're very intuitive. I know you're so nurturing.
Creative.
I know that you would give your life up for anybody. Like, I know those things. My pain with the sign comes from them sometimes not understanding my space. That's really it.
Totally.
And so there's been times and occasions where Pisces have lashed out at me, and it's a guilt trip, right? And made me to like feel almost like a monster because I cope in different ways. It was a hard thing to kind of go through with multiple Pisces, and it's hard because it's like when I do surrender and just kind of like put my head in their lap, it's the best medicine for me. But then when they lash out at me for not doing that, sometimes it's like, okay, what the fuck?
Hypothetically, if Aquarius and Pisces got married, very likely I think they would get divorced 8 years later for irreconcilable differences.
Disclaimer.
I say this to everybody. Any sign can be with any sign.
Again, I love all the Pisces in my life. And I would say my favorite, though, moving on. Anyways, I love you, Pisces, so much. I can't say it enough because I don't want you to take offense. So my favorite sign is absolutely, without a doubt, Libra. It's without a doubt Libra. I feel like their existence is also sad to me because I feel like they are pinned so wrong as like weaklings or yes man. The Libra can take a hit more than a lot of people. They're so influenced and such empaths for what is around them. They're like, I have to make this environment amicable and I have to make this environment comfortable or else I can't stand it. They can't stand it. Whereas Aquarius, Aries, whatever, hard-headed, Sagittarius, Capricorn, mean signs, they could literally sit there with their arms crossed and be like, you're feeling shitty and I can still live like that. But the Libra is like, I literally can't.
I love Libras because I love the way that they move through social situations.
Expand on that.
I just feel they have a natural knack for getting information, using their charm and their warmth to just move through the social scene and get to where you need to go. They always know the right people. I feel like they shake the right hands.
You know, here's T. In any scenario where people are talking shit about air signs, it's because 9 times out of 10, the air sign don't need you, bitch.
We don't need you.
And you hate it. I mean, there's a reason why we're the smartest element, and all elements are needed. So just because we're letting ours shine for a second doesn't mean we're shitting on other ones, but it's like, dude, come on.
Stop giving Aquarius the light blue. She needs something crazier. She needs like neon green.
And leather. And I'm sick of my sign being pinned as aloof. We literally live in our brain, you know.
Totally. I think that Aquarians
I'm an observer
can
more than
totally
anything.
thrive in a spotlight, but I don't think that they prefer.
We're not like,
the
I
spotlight.
wouldn't say that we're like
Searching
bred for it.
the light. I think
No.
you naturally fall into the spotlight.
Tripped and fell, bitch.
Tripped and fell.
Didn't,
Harry Styles,
yeah.
I'm looking at you. You guys have a very similar chart.
Dude, me and Harry Styles have
And
identical
you know
charts.
what? Ever since I found that out, I have thought of him in such a different light.
You know what's funny is Capricorns don't like going in the spotlight either, but I think that they're more calm, cool, and collected in it than even Aquarius would be.
Attention so well.
They do. They're great.
We eat it.
I love a
would
Capricorn.
Eat out of
Yeah,
a Capricorn's hand.
dude.
If
Great.
they were like,
I would wash
"Chew,
their feet.
whatever
Yeah.
you want,
Yeah.
I will be of service."
God, they're so funny in such an underrated
so
way.
Funny. I think that they're reserved, but that doesn't mean they lack the ability to love incredibly deeply.
But they're definitely going to
They're
be like, what am I
choosy.
going to get out of it?
Nothing's free around here.
Hey, do I hate you for that? No, I don't. I feel you. I get it.
Yeah.
It's Saturn, you know?
Yeah.
But again,
What are you gonna get? What am I gonna get out of
they
this?
also know that they're going to get out what they put in.
Yes.
And I've said that so many times about Capricorns. And for that reason, I'm like, you're automatically kind of awesome. But they are represented as the devil card, which
They
is like
are.
getting in, you know, it's self-sabotage in certain ways. So that's like, that could be the downfall of the
I think
Capricorn.
Capricorns do deal with a lot of shame, a lot of self-shame, and a lot of being really their toughest critic.
Yeah.
And the devil card, every time we've talked about it, really represents the fact that you've always been free,
Yeah.
but the prison of your mind has kept you in
Yeah.
the state of being locked up and restricted. And I think that they are just so hard on themselves because they know they can accomplish these great things.
Yeah.
It is this inner knowing. I fucking know that this lives within me.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fall short of that, which they will because you're human, even though you are a Capricorn, it's devastating to them.
Yeah.
It's this blow. And your falling short is like my best I can give you.
I
you
swear
know?
to God. it's all I got.
It's like,
You know?
that's my 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to tell the story of the devil card because it's actually like one of my favorite. But, you know, the fool comes across the devil card, and the devil card is depicted with two humans like in chains around their neck. And the fool is like, free those people, and yelling, I imagine, like shame, like pointing the finger, like let these people go. And the devil is like, bro, the chains aren't even locked. They've never been locked down here. So that card
That's
really.
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the card is basically representing that you choose to stay.
You're suffering.
Yeah.
The tarot, it's been butchered recently on social media. Because it's,
That was
and
me cracking my knuckles.
That was literally every knuckle she had.
Yeah, because I'm about to serve it up. So basically, the tarot has absolutely been butchered by people that want it to be what they want it to be. And I think that that's a terrible, terrible atrocity. That I mean, that's a lot in the spiritual community. I feel like people bend their ideas for what they want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Why would there even be descriptions in the first place?
Right.
Why would there even be
or a
meanings
sacred story
or sacred stories or graphics and illustrations? Like why even have them if they don't mean anything?
Yeah.
And you're not going to adhere to tradition. Tradition has a place.
Preach, sis.
Tradition has a place in spiritual practice.
It does. Absolutely. Okay?
Fuck yeah.
Everywhere. Fuck yeah. Tradition. Because it promotes discipline and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sit here and fuck with sacred ancient shit to be what you want it to be, you are just axing one of the biggest pillars in a spiritual practice, that's why we call it a practice, is discipline. Discipline is the major pillar. Without that one, you're fucked. Absolutely fucked. And even holding yourself to just like your own practice, but like Jesus Christ. You know, stop fucking with shit that you don't need to fuck with.
If you don't want to smoke, don't play with the cards.
Exactly. Don't fuck with something that you've known for a year. You know what I'm saying? And like sit there and rewrite it or talk about how the lover's card, it's just about love. Bitch, it's a choice.
Always a choice.
Bitch, it's
Fork in the
always a
road.
choice. Yeah. It's actually, there's even, I mean, sure, we could talk about how it's joyous, but like there's also this looming ominous feeling that surrounds the lover's card, bitch.
Yes.
I mean, and nobody wants to look at it.
Waiting for the pin to drop.
Yeah, dude. It's like sometimes that shows up and people aren't even ready. Anyways,
Stop learning everything off of YouTube.
please.
Go buy old books.
Bro, Sid, you don't even read tarot, but you are 10 times more qualified than so many of these readers out here because she's been around me, Sarah. She's watched it. She's like practiced it. She just sticks to what she's like comfortable in her knowing. But I'm telling you right now, you're 10 times more
Love it.
qualified than so many of these readers out here because of, you know, the Google. Or there's a saying that Sarah says, she's like, I don't trust a book that's under 100 years old.
Literally.
Dude,
What the fuck do they know?
what the
What
fuck?
do they know in 1995?
Dude.
More than they know in 2016.
Yeah.
But not as much as they knew in 1920.
Exactly.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. 1,000,000%. You know what? I just love learning about tarot through you guys.
I love learning about astrology through you. We were at Thanksgiving one year and I was just talking about readings and she was like,
I read astrology.
I read astrology, and I was like, no fucking way. And then we just got to know each other and would sit on the phone for like
your natal chart
ever.
right there in front of all the cousins.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, I thought you were cool. You thought I was cool. And it never slowed down since then. It's been so consistent. You're my sister. It feels like that. It feels like that's how close you are to me.
I love you very much. I mean, your family.
I feel you so much when I'm at home. I'm like,
Me too.
I'm inside of your mind and I can feel it.
I know.
And then you'll call me and I'll be like, oh, thank God you called me.
Yeah.
I just love you.
Well, I love you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And that's Word to the Witch, guys.
Word to the witch, word to your mother. We're out.